Most slow cooker chilli recipes miss one thing, and it's the difference between average and properly good. They don't brown the meat first. Welcome to Chef Skills for Real Dads. I'm Dan, a trained chef and a dad, and today I'm going to show you how to make a proper slow cooker chilli and why this step matters. So the ingredients are 750 grams of lean mince, 1 diced white onion, 2 diced red peppers, 800 grams of tomato passata, 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. The spices, which are 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and a bay leaf which you add to the slow cooker. 5 cloves of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce, and 2/3 of a cup of red wine. First you want to put some oil in your pan and get your pan nice and hot. Add your mince to your pan, it should be sizzling. You want to break your mince up with a wooden spoon, or you can use a whisk if you like. Once we've broken it up, we're going to let it brown by letting it sit still for a few moments. Most people make the mistake of moving it around the pan like this, always moving it, never letting it sit still. Worst thing you can do. What you want to do is you want to get brown meat, not grey meat. So to get brown meat, we let it sit, let it develop a crust. Now just keep breaking it up. I've sped the video up a little bit because it doesn't need to watch it in actual time. As you can see, it's starting to get brown here. I'm just literally using the spoon and twisting it just to break that mince up. Now, if you're starting to get a bit of liquid in your pan, it's not a problem. All you do is get a bit of kitchen roll, put it on the end of your spoon and move it around the pan. That'll pick up any moisture like that, see? And you can do that 2 or 3 times just to get rid of any excess moisture. And this is what we're looking for, brown meat cooked through. That's where your flavours come from. So now the mince is fully browned off, we're ready to start adding ingredients and building the flavour. So first we'll add the onions in. And then we'll add the peppers. And we'll give all that a nice mix up. Let that cook for a couple of minutes before we add the garlic. Because the garlic doesn't take as long, we don't want the garlic to burn. So now we will add our garlic into the pan. Let that cook for 30 seconds or so. really want a bit of smell of that garlic coming through. Then we're going to add our tomato puree and we're going to give it all a good mix up and get all the mince and the onions all evenly coated. So now we're going to grab our spices and we're going to put the spices in. I've mixed them all together just for ease. Remember, we don't put the bay leaf in at this point, that is for the slow cooker only. Give it all a good mix up and you want to really smell those spices. You want to cook them for about 30 seconds or so, that's what unlocks the flavour. So that's now finished, so we're going to transfer it over to our slow cooker. And we're going to add our tomato passata. You can use chopped tomatoes, but I'm fussy. I don't like lumps of tomato, so I go for the smooth passata. And we're going to add our chicken stock or veg stock or beef stock, whatever you've got to hand. Give that a good mix. Now we add the brown sugar. Now a lot of people ask why I don't put that in the frying pan. I don't want the mince to caramelise, so I don't add the sugar until this point. We have a good glove of Worcestershire sauce. You don't see me put the red wine in, but the red wine is in there, I promise. And don't forget the bay leaf. Pop the lid on, cook it on high for a couple of hours and then turn it down for another 4 hours or so. And what you should end up with is something that looks a little bit like this. I tend to serve my chilli with rice. You can do microwave rice or you can do boiled rice like I did. Do your chilli your way, serve it with cheese, serve it with rice, serve it with nachos, bit of sour cream, entirely up to you. The slow cooker does the cooking, but the flavour, that starts in the pan. If you skip the browning step, you lose a huge amount of flavour. If you add it, everything improves. Step up, feed your family properly. This is chef skills for real dads. See you next week.